Hello everyone. This hour on Verbling, the next in my Getting Results in Business series, we are finishing up our unit on how to talk about job performance. We've got one final task, which is to take everything we've learned and put it together into a realistic speaking simulation, something that you might have to do on the job, specifically doing a job appraisal. So we're going to try to put together all of our skills into one class in this class. Well, that's a bit about my class. Let me tell you a bit about me. I'm Jon-Eric, your Verbling teacher for this hour, and I'm an American teacher from New York, hanging out in Lisbon, Portugal to bring you this class. Here are 3 quick rules to help you participate. Don't forget to turn off, tune in, and open up, which means turn off your microphone when you're not speaking so we can keep the classroom quiet. Tune in to the new vocabulary words that you've learned when you are speaking so that I can correct you and give you feedback. And finally, open up to your classmates. Just relax and have fun. We're all here to learn, and this is a safe and respectful place to practice your English. So that's a little bit about me. And now I want to know a little bit about you. So come on in and say hello. Yesterday I sent a homework to everyone. So as I've mentioned before, and I think I wrote as well, in the homeworks I always include the answers. So all you have to do is correct yourself and then bring any questions you have into the classroom. Okay, and I can take those questions now if you like. By the way, let me put a link to our presentation for today if you need it. And I'll give you a second link here. I'm going to call this Notes. Our second link, let's see if I have the right one, is going to be to our Notes document. I haven't really been using it a lot in the last couple of classes, but if I correct you or give you suggestions, it'll be there, okay? So first of all, excuse me, Victor or Anton, I don't know if you had a chance to do the homework, but if you did, let me know if you have any questions about it, and we can go over the answers quickly at the beginning of class. Did you have a chance to try it out?
In my case, no. I was studying for a test.
Okay, no problem. And what about you, Victor? Did you have a chance to try out the homework?
No, I didn't have time. Enough time.
Oh, bad students.
No.
Oh, bad. Uh-oh. All right. Well, if you didn't do it, we're not going to go over the answers. But the idea was just for you to have a little practice. Remember what we learned yesterday, Victor, with the narrative tenses, the past perfect, the past continuous, and the past simple, how to use them together. Remember what we were doing yesterday, Victor?
Yes, of course
Okay.
I remember.
All right. So if you want a little more practice with that, go to the link that I sent you yesterday, and if you have any questions about the answers after you correct yourself, send me a message or talk to me in class, okay? Because for you, maybe it was a little difficult in the beginning understanding how to put the tenses together, so I think that not only will you have more practice, I also put in a little grammar explanation on the first page. I don't know if I have. I don't have it in front of me anyway, but you'll see in the link. So it reviews the rules as well. Okay, so it might be useful.
Okay,
Let's say,
but let me ask you.
Sure.
Is it class is not too difficult?
Sorry, I can't hear you. It's not too difficult?
So, it's not. This class is not too difficult for me, and I can see that there are a lot of classes was for this topic, but I didn't attend all of these classes. Is it class is not too difficult for me?
Well, the way I see it is, number one, you don't have to attend all the classes at all. It's not necessary, because this is meant to be more of a conversation class. It's business English, but we look at the themes and the topics, and I'll give you some practice, that's true, but mostly it's about talking about your experience inside of those themes, like your experience of a job appraisal, things like that. In other words, I want you to make a personal connection to the topic so that you can use the vocabulary in a realistic way that will help you at work. So it's really more about conversation. So that's number one. You don't have to attend all the classes. Attend what you can. Don't worry about it. Number two, about the level. There is no level. These classes are intermediate, but I try to make it as flexible as I can for people who are pre-intermediate and people who are advanced. Beginners will have problems. Okay? In your case, I think you understand everything. Your difficulty is in vocabulary, right? And having the right vocabulary to say what you want to say. But the rest of it we can fix. The grammar is not difficult to fix. So what I think is, I don't think it's too difficult because the class is meant for many different levels, from pre-intermediate to advanced. And you participate at the level that you're comfortable with. Plus, I'll try to give as much homework as I can for people that are, that feel that it's too challenging. So you'll get written work, so that will help you. And I also have a way to review the vocabulary, because each unit I use smart flashcards, a review system to review the vocabulary in an application that will test you on the keywords. Okay, so that's another thing that can help you quickly build up your vocabulary. I have to send it to you. So if you're interested in that, send me a message. I'll explain how it works. So in other words, no, I don't think it's too difficult for you. I don't think so. All right?
Thank you.
Well, if you think it's too difficult, you tell me and I'll try to make it easier. Let's put it that way. I'll try to change the class for you, because the class is only as good as the people that come to it. So it's really for, it's better that I adapt it to the students rather than the reverse. That's the way I like to do things. Let's say a quick hello to Elena. Is it Elena? How do I say your name? Elena Wies?
Hello, I'm Elena.
Elena.
I'm
Hi,
Elena.
Elena.
Yeah.
Where are you from, Elena?
I'm from Spain.
It's a little hard to hear everyone today. I wonder if the hangout is not working so well. You're from Spain, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
What?
So, Elena, is this your first time in the Verbling class?
No, I think it's my first class with you. I'm sure. If I have taken one some time ago, but no,
I don't.
I take classes frequently.
Okay, good, good. I don't think you've had a class with me. I don't recognize you, so maybe you're new. I don't think so. Well, look, today what we're going to do is we're going to be completing the unit that we've been working on for nearly 2 weeks. If you haven't been here, again, it's not a problem. You're going to participate in the way that you can. I'll be here to give you feedback and corrections. Okay, so what I want you to do is you can follow along on screen, or if you prefer, you can download the presentation. Either way, the presentation I'm going to show you is the second link in the chat window. The first one is our notes, the second one is the presentation. But I'm going to put it on screen for you, okay? So you don't have to open it if you don't want to. And here it is. So what we're going to do is do a realistic simulation of something you might have to do at work someday, a job appraisal. We're going to be putting together everything we've learned so far, and if you're just joining us, you'll be learning it as you do it. But I'll give you feedback throughout the class to help you. So, in this unit, we've talked about personal qualities. We've learned adjectives and nouns to describe personal qualities, like dedicated and dedication. Like, I never remember them. I've got a list of them somewhere. They were all the words in the beginning from the text that we read. Caring, hardworking, these kind of words. We also use key expressions for appraising or doing an evaluation. Things that you might say to evaluate yourself, or if you're evaluating a colleague. We've learned some key expressions for giving feedback, how to be diplomatic when you're giving feedback, things that you might say to, for example, encourage people. You know, that's well done, that's a great job, these kind of things. Finally, in the previous classes, we've reviewed narrative tenses. The past continuous, the past simple, and the past perfect. In other words, I did, I was doing, and I have done. And we use those to talk about our CV or our timeline. That was the exercise we did yesterday and the day before. So let's see what we can do with all of that knowledge. We're going to start by reading an expert view, someone in the field who has a strong opinion. And we're going to think about that opinion as we read a case study, a real-life example of a work issue. Okay? So maybe, Anton, could you start us off? Read about, this is a real person, by the way, Raj Mulvadi, Manish Singh, real person, real people, Simon Taylor, and David York, full-time MBA graduates from the Cranfield School of Management in the UK. By the way, what does MBA mean, everyone? What's an MBA? Does everyone know what that means?
Master in Business Administration.
Is that a yes or a no?
Sorry?
Exactly. MBA, Masters in Business Administration. It's kind of the... You're correct. Masters in Business Administration. That's right. So it's kind of the basic degree you need to be in a management position in a company, basically. So, Anton, why don't you start us off by reading the expert view from our MBA graduates?
Okay. Preparation and practice.
Anton?
Yes, it's a big delay between you speak and you can read. It's a big delay. I don't know
there's
what
a delay?
happens. Yes.
Mm.
We feel silly because I...
Okay, let me do this. Let me see if I don't know if the problem is me or someone else, or me or the hangout. Hang on a second. Let me see if what I can do is, oops, I can tell me if there's still a delay. Is it better now?
You have to say
or
me
is it about the same?
I don't know if I answered you at the same time, but I think you are listening to me a few seconds of delay. Yes.
Okay. Well, if we can't fix it, all I will say is I'll try to leave the hangout and come back in case the problem is me. Otherwise, we just have to live with it for today. Okay, but go ahead and read, Anton.
Okay. Preparation and practice are key elements of delivering successful presentations. Gain confidence by practicing as a team, if possible in the room where your presentation will be held. Practicing in front of a familiar audience helps you to focus on areas for improvement and estimate your timing. Use media as a support, not as a script. Information on PowerPoint slides should be kept to a minimum. Include key points and diagrams only. Speak clearly, and appear confident. This will keep the audience's attention. And use humor only when appropriate.
Okay, very good, very good. Hang on just a second here. Before we move forward with this, we need to know why they're giving us this expert view. But give me just a second here, because I just want to make sure that we're on the same page. Give me just a second here, because my material looks a little different. Hold on a second. No, that's right. Okay, fine. So
What are you
let's do
reading?
this.
What I'm doing?
By the way, listen, Elena, I need to mute you because we're getting a lot of. Hang on a second. Hold on a second, Elena. Hold on. So, okay, I'm back. So what we're doing is we're looking at the point of view of an expert in the field to give us something to, some way to discuss the case study that we're going to read. So first we have to be clear about what the expert view is, what their opinion is, make sure it's clear. But then we're going to use it in analyzing a real-life problem. So what I'd like you to do is, before we read this, let's just clarify the main point of our MBA graduates. So they seem to be talking about delivering a successful presentation. Anton, what do you think is the main point, what we should keep in mind about a successful presentation according to our graduates? What's the principal idea? Can anyone hear me? Hello? Hello, hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
You can hear me, great.
Hello?
Anton, can you hear me? Hold on a second. Let me get the camera on. Let's see what's going on. I don't know what's happening with the Hangout today. Anton, can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, but Anton.
Sorry.
Anton, are you there? I don't know what's going on. All right. Well, listen, Anton, if you can hear me, what I want you to do is just write in the chat window in case you can't speak. And I don't know what's going on. It seems like there's a problem with the Hangout today.
Yes. Have you seen the message I have put in Berlin chat?
No, I don't see any messages. No. Hold on. No, I don't see any messages in the chat window, Elena.
In Berlin chat.
Yes, I don't see any messages from you in the Verbling chat, Elena.
I'm seeing something is wrong because I have put the message. I don't know where the document is. What the document was Anton was reading.
The document is in the Verbling chat window. So, do you see it in the Verbling chat window? Yeah?
Yes. Yes, but
okay. So I can share. I'm going to share it on screen, but you can also download it. If for any reason you don't see the link, I will post it in the group chat as well. Okay, so you can see it there in the group chat. Okay. So it's in both places.
Okay. But
do me a favor. Yes. What's wrong?
No, I don't see the part and on the read. I see a big document, but
look inside the class chat room, Elena. Look inside the class chat room, inside the Hangout.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Oh, hold on a second. Wait. No, that's not right. Sorry. No, wait. That's our notes. Hold on a second. Let me give you a different link. 1 second, please. And listen, Elena, if it's possible, make sure that you're wearing headphones because I hear a lot of noise from your end. Okay? Okay. I just posted the link that says presentation. Look after the doc. Okay, so it's the second link inside of the group chat in case you need it. Okay? And let's say hello to Igor, who's just joining us right now. Hello, Igor. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine, thanks.
Very good.
But
where are you
I
from?
don't see the link in the group chat.
You don't see the link in the group chat, really?
Yeah, in the hangout. I just wrote it there.
Okay, something's wrong because I don't see anything. Do me a favor. I'm going to write hello in the group chat. Do you see where I wrote hello? Igor?
I can't. I don't.
We definitely have something. There's something wrong with the hangout. I don't know what's going on. Hold on a second. I'll tell you what. I'm going to sign out and I'm going to sign back in just in case the problem is on my end. Okay? So I'll be back in 30 seconds. Okay, Igor? Don't go anywhere.
Okay.
All right, I'll be right back.
Hi,
Hello,
Ahmad.
Igor. Okay, Anton.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Elena. Hello, Ahmad. The teacher is here.
Hi, yeah, he just joined. Okay, good.
Alrighty then. So let's see if this is working now. Give me just a second. Sorry, the Verbling app has to download. I keep forgetting when you return, you have to restart everything. Give me just a second here. Okay, looks like it's working now. Okay, so first of all, can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, because something must have been wrong before because I couldn't hear any of you. I don't know. Second, if you want to download the document, you should have the link in both places, but in case you don't, see, Ahmed put the link to, yeah, one of those links apparently is wrong. So look, presentation. Okay, the link that I just posted that says presentation, that's the one I'm going to share with you on screen. Okay, everyone? Okay, so let's do this now. Uh-oh, what happened to my documents? Oh, I closed them by mistake. Let me get this back on screen and we're going to get started. What Anton read was an expert view from MBA students at a prestigious MBA program in the UK talking about presentations, about how you should do a presentation, what you should keep in mind. We're going to use that to do a job appraisal, to do an appraisal of a presentation, in fact. And where is my appraisal? You know what? Give me just a second here. Sorry, because I need to. When I closed my browser, I lost my document. Give me a second to re-download this as a PDF so I can see you all. 1 second, please. Okay, I think I got it now. Yep, here we go. So what I'm going to do is share my screen, and we're going to first, we're going to just make sure that the expert view is clear. It's on slide number 3. So I'm sorry, Anton, but I think our connection was bad before. Could you just remind me, what is the key point? What's our takeaway point from the expert view about doing a presentation? What would you say it was, Anton?
Yes, I think it's the kind of thing you have to do when you are explaining something to a group of people with a PowerPoint.
And what's the main thing they want us to keep in mind? What's the principal idea we should keep in mind? What do you think?
You have to feel confident and feel you control the situation and take clear ideas instead of have a lot of text in the PowerPoint presentation. Only the main ideas.
That's a good point. They say that the media you use, the PowerPoint, video, whatever, should be there to support you. It should not be the principal thing. So that's a good point. You need to balance it. It should support your presentation. It should not be your presentation. That's true. So PowerPoint slides should be kept to a minimum, and perhaps only diagrams or something like that. And confidence is another good point. Igor, have you ever had to give a presentation in front of a group of people?
Yes, of course. When I was studying in the university, we used to practice presentation.
What did you study?
Management.
Perfect. So that's where it's right up your alley. That's exactly what we're going to be talking about. Very good. And what do you do now, Igor?
Actually, I'm in a transition point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a job right now, but soon.
But you're going to be so much more prepared after my class today.
Yes, of course.
We're going to talk all about the right way to do a presentation and about job appraisal. Okay, so hopefully that's clear. Now what we're going to do is use those ideas in the expert view to look at a real-life problem at work. Okay, so we've got 2 paragraphs here. So Igor and Elena, let's have you read 1 paragraph each, 1 part each. So Igor, why don't you start us off with, yep.
Slide 4?
On slide 4, that's right. Let's do, you do the left half and Elena will do the right. This is our case study.
Okay. Help from the professionals. Balkan Health Food Corporation is a successful food company in its home country of Croatia. It wants to start expanding its business into other European countries. More employees will need to go out to the market and present the company and its products to potential customers and partners. In order to do
this, let's go to Elena. Elena, why don't you continue? Second half. I want to give everyone a chance to read real quick. Go ahead, Elena.
Okay. Yeah. In order to do this, the company will need to retrain some of its staff and employ new staff. It has decided to start with training its existing staff in presentation skills. The company has brought Media Training Associate, an organization that gives quarterly training sessions in media and presentation skills to take charge of this project.
Okay, so first, any questions about the situation that we're going to simulate here? We've got Balkan Health Food Corp, and they've hired this company, Media Training Associations, to do what? They outsourced what? To do the training for what?
For the personnel.
Just so that I know it's clear. I'm sorry, say again? Say again?
To the employees of the company.
Yeah, what are they going to be trained in?
They will be trained at presentation skills.
They will be trained in presentation skills. In, that's right. Okay, that's exactly right, Igor. So they're going to receive some training. That means that they're going to have to be appraised for their ability to do the presentations that they're being trained for. That's where we come in. I want you to listen to a trainer from Media Training Associates, and I want you to read the presentation feedback form. This should look familiar because in previous classes we've used a very similar form to do an appraisal to listen and read an appraisal of an employee. Then we used it on ourselves to talk about our own experience. So now we're going to listen into the training session. If you give me just a second here, let me read this for you. 1 second, please. Hold on. Whoops. Okay. Oh, no, I don't have... Whoops. Okay, hold on a second. I don't have the audio here. 1 second. For some reason, I didn't include the audio in the presentation that I'm showing you, but give me just a second and I'll have it open. 1 second. Okay, this is what? 67. Okay. Okay, I found it. So listen in. Where is it? Here we go. Listen in. This is going to be a slightly long. This is going to be a slightly long assessment. Oh no, this is not the assessment. This is the presentation itself. Okay. Listen to a trainer from Media Training Associates. Read the presentation feedback form. Here we go. Media Training Associates was founded in 2000, and since then we have helped improve the presentation skills of representatives from more than 100 companies, including many in the FTSE 100. FTSE 100. Tell me if that sounds familiar to you, by the way. There are many elements to an interesting presentation, but if you get these 3 right, then you're well on your way to making a good impression. Firstly, know your audience. Don't just think about what you want to say, but put yourself in their shoes. Think about what they'll be interested in hearing. Don't assume knowledge. If the group, if the group is mixed, try to bring everyone up to speed by including a mixture of old and new facts. Anticipate any areas of conflict or disagreement and try to ensure you have dealt with these yourself. Secondly, have a clear structure. 3 key points to illustrate your theme is ideal. With a strong beginning and ending, give the audience a map. Explain the point of your presentation, give them indications to where you're going and how you're going to get there. And lastly, visual aids. Visual aids sometimes hinder instead of help. Slides should be kept simple, not packed with information. Complicated diagrams and bullet points are also less desirable. It's amazing how often people's words don't match the information on the slides. Audiences end up confused and they don't remember any of what you said in that case. Okay, so let's go here first. Do you agree with the tips for giving a presentation as Media Training Associates has just outlined? Ahmed, do you basically agree with what was said?
Kind of.
Where might you disagree?
Well, where might I disagree?
Maybe,
Probably, yes.
Maybe you should start by just saying, what were the 3 main points that you heard? Just so that we can clarify that.
Well, what I remember is he said you should put yourself in their shoes.
Right.
So
Yep.
yeah.
That was one. Also, not too much media, right? Don't overwhelm the audience with visual aids. That was the second one.
Uh-huh.
And the very first one was, do you remember that one?
Mm-hmm. No. Don't assume knowledge? No.
Yeah, basically, but there was a broader point, which was know your audience.
Ah, okay.
Don't just think about yourself and what you're saying. Think about the people. Think about how they're going to be receptive to it, what they already know, and as you said, don't assume that they know everything, even if they're top professionals. You should still give a background. You know, mix old and new information. So those were the three ideas. Where do you think? Where would you disagree with those, or what would you add, Ahmed?
Mm-hmm. Um, I don't know.
Oh,
Well,
I thought you were going to say something about put yourself in their shoes. Is that
uh,
it?
no, what I wanted to say, like, we need examples sometimes, you know?
Right. Good illustrations.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't talk about that too much. That's a good point. So what would you add to the Media Training Associates presentation about examples? What would you say about it? It sounds good, but what could you add?
Um, Illustrate or clarify your
Mm-hmm.
presentation by giving examples.
Mm-hmm. And what should we know about the examples? What's a good way to give examples? Is there anything particular we should keep in mind, in your opinion?
No, nothing. Sorry.
The point is just make sure that it's clearly illustrated.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay. I would add, for examples, that there's many forms of evidence. One form is to give facts, true and false facts with lots of numbers and statistics. Another form of evidence is a thought experiment. You can illustrate an idea by giving a kind of conditional sentence. If you were to do X, the result would be Y. In other words, give a logical illustration. That counts as evidence when you're doing this kind of presentation, right? We're not scientists here, so we just need to be as clear as possible. So you're really just giving another form of examples. So you can
Well,
give, go ahead, yeah.
what about telling stories?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
That might be good as well because everyone can relate to a story. So for that, we've got those narrative tenses that we were practicing. So that would come in handy. But the point is, any way you want to illustrate what you're trying to get across, I think is pretty legitimate for this because your goal is to get people to follow what you're saying and convince them if you need to, or have them convince themselves based on your evidence. But it doesn't always have to be facts that are proven true or false. It can be any kind of an illustration, including a story. What I'd like you to do is add more criteria to the presentation feedback form. Okay? So let's take a quick look back here. What do you think we could add, or what do you think might be missing from the feedback form based on what we've heard so far and based on what we talked about just now? Is there anything that you think is missing or could be improved?
I don't know.
So
The,
let's take a look.
the map. I think we can ask about the map. You can use a map and you can ask about the map.
Mm-hmm. Well, in the presentation, that's a good point, by the way. In the presentation, the map was really what we call signposting. Signposting means using clear connector words like, for example, as I said before, as you will see, moreover, therefore. So the map is using connector words to signpost your presentation. Signposting means if you're on the highway driving your car and there are no signs, you will probably get lost. If there are plenty of signs, you'll know exactly where you are at all times. In the same way, you use connectors to signpost your presentation so everyone can follow what you said and where you're going with it. Okay, so Anton, that's a very good point. So here on our feedback form, we could add that. So right now we have speaker introduced the topic clearly, not clearly. The phrases the speaker used to organize the content were helpful, not helpful. The speaker was convincing, not convincing. So Anton, I think for you, number 2, the second one, is what you're addressing, the idea of a map or a signpost, right?
Mm.
I think that. Do you think we could say that number 2 in a better way?
I think we can. You are asking about to add more things in the
Yeah. Add
Yes.
or clarify. Add or clarify what's there. Yeah. Either way.
Okay, but I want to add, if it's possible, a question about the quality and the relationship about what the speaker was telling to the audience, and the quality of the main points on the PowerPoint. It's a good connection. It's a visual connection between the speech and the visual elements.
Absolutely. It sounds good. So we could add a question, which would be, well, how would you ask that as a feedback question on this feedback form, Anton? Because you can see what's written there. How would you phrase it?
I could ask about something like that. The speaker visual elements are good related with the speech.
Okay, very good. Let me change one thing. The visual elements used by the speaker were clearly related to the topic. So let me put that in the chat window. And if you look at the presentation, whoops. If you look at the feedback form, I mean, yeah, I guess we could just add a number like that. They were clearly, right, or not clearly
maybe helpful.
Related. Okay, sure, absolutely. Were helpful.
Very helpful.
Well, he's talking about the actual. That's a good question. I mean, is it that they were helpful, or is it that they were clear? You see, maybe those are two different issues, Igor.
Yeah.
If we're going to go with helpful, how would you phrase the feedback that should be on the form?
Yeah, the same way. The visual elements used to follow the presentation were very helpful, not very helpful.
Okay, and we could also say, perhaps, you could evaluate the simplicity of the visual elements, that they weren't too overwhelming, right? So another idea could be that the visual elements were simple and clear, or that they didn't interfere. They didn't interfere with the presentation. Can anyone think of? I'd like to have maybe 2 more additional criteria besides the quality and the relevance of the material. Think about everything. Think about the room. Think about the person, him or herself. Think about the relation to the audience. I'd like 2 more criteria that we could add to this.
So I might add the criteria such as how the person involves the auditorium into his presentation. Like
into
that.
His or her presentation.
Yeah. Involves.
Right? Could be a woman.
Yeah, something like that.
That's a very good point. So, in other words, did the presenter keep the audience in mind, perhaps, or was the presenter thinking about the audience in the structure and in the structure or during the presentation? And maybe something else we could add is, how would you rate the presenter's ability to answer questions from the audience? That's another form of interaction.
To keep an
right?
eye
So those
contact.
Are two. Yeah, okay, good. Did the presenter have good eye contact? Did the presenter maintain good eye contact throughout the presentation? I agree completely.
Body
Any other
language.
Say again?
Body language.
Well, okay, good. What about body language? What should the presenter avoid in body language?
Might avoid like probably I don't know, shrug. Shrugging, I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how could we say that? What's a good English word just to say what not to do? Shrugging is a bad idea, right? But more generally, did the presenter have what kind of body language?
Negative.
Aggressive.
Yeah, it's okay, but more generally, aggressive is a little strong. More
connecting.
Say again?
Connecting.
Connecting body language, it doesn't work. Not connecting, but here's my idea. You tell me what you think. Did the presenter have distracting body language? I say distracting because, or did the presenter use non-distracting body language? Because distracting could be anything. It could be aggressive, it could be being self-conscious, it could be absolutely anything. How does that sound? It's okay?
Yes.
Yeah, it works?
It does.
So far we have keeping the audience in mind, non-distracting body language, maintaining good eye contact, simple visual aids, ability to field questions from the audience. Field means answer with expertise, and accurate language, right? So that the quality of the presentation itself is clearly delivered to the language. That the presenter's voice, clear pronunciation, and maybe the most important thing of all. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead, Igor.
One more time frame. Did he manage to keep the time frame?
Good. Did the presenter have good time management skills? Right. Some parts of the presentation will be more difficult to understand, so they need to be handled in their own time. So you wouldn't want to rush those. So good time management skills. Okay, I agree. And give enough time for the audience to answer, things like that.
I don't know how to ask another new thing. I think it's the same way, or perhaps it could be a new question.
Mm-hmm.
If we are asking about how do you feel the speaker prepared the conference, I'm talking about how to emphasize with the audience, because if you want to emphasize, you need to know what kind of audience are in front of you, and you need to make a little investigation about the quality, the level, the kind of people who are in front of you. And if you have prepared as good as it's necessary this conference, you are going to emphasize because you can change your talking and with a new direction for the people who are listening to you. I don't know how to ask, but perhaps it's only.
How about the level of preparation? In fact, we might want to say the level of preparedness. Let me do this. Let's put all of our ideas together in one place. So if you go to the I don't have it open. If you go to the notes document, let me make a little list of everything let me make a list to summarize everything we've talked about so far. Okay? But I would say, Anton, the level of preparedness or the level of preparation that the speaker had for the topic. And it's good because we have to make the questions on the feedback form a little bit general, right? but they have to be clear. So we have to balance the two. We can't. If they're too long, people aren't going to read it. If they're too short, it won't be clear. So what do you think about that? The level of preparation that the speaker had.
Yes, it could be a good ask, but I don't want to make a mistake because I understand sometimes preparation with the level, the skill of the teacher, not the preparation in itself of the conference. Preparation.
Oh, you don't mean the speaker. You mean the venue itself. In other words, was the place where the speaker, not the speaker, but the people who set up the conference, that they did their job, there was a working microphone, the air conditioning was on.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
I see.
All the environment, but especially you have to take into account the kind of people who are going to be in front of you. If you are going to do the same speech 2 times,
right,
it could be perfectly different each time because the audience could be different, and you have to adapt to your speech to the different people who are going to listen to you. Because the effort, you can lose the effort you want to go.
Sure, but I think we would cover that if we talk about the what did we say before? Paying attention to the audience. What was it? I forgot exactly what we said. Give me a second. I wrote this down. The part where we said, keeping the audience in mind. I think it's covered if we have a question about that. And also maintaining eye contact. We got to keep the questions a little bit short, but I think it's covered under keeping the audience in mind, eye contact, and ability to field questions too. That even though that's at the end, I think it's covered in that way. Remember, the idea here is to get feedback from the audience so that you can improve next time. So as long as the questions are clear and they give you some indication of what you're going for, I think it'll be good enough. And meanwhile, let me put a list that we've talked about so far in the notes. So if you open the Getting Results in Business Notes, you'll see a new logo. I got rid of the gold one. Now I've got this nice blue one. Blue's better than gold, maybe. I don't know. And if you go down to Unit 15, you've got all of our vocabulary from the last couple of classes. But let's add, where's my class? Let's add a note for today's class, which is all those things we said so far about the feedback, about the presentation feedback. Okay, I'll put them in one place. So this is class 11, and today is the 28th. Whoops, not 208, sorry, 28th. And so we'll call this feedback form for presentations. Okay, and I'll just make a little list of everything we've said so far, and if you want to make changes, let me know and I'll change it. What we need to do is use this list or use our ideas to do an actual appraisal, which we're not going to have time to do because we're at the end of the hour. But we can do it tomorrow. This is the never-ending unit. It's been going on for 12 classes. So, keeping the audience in mind. Can everyone see what I'm writing there on the notes document?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. So these are the ones that I remember. You tell me if you want to change anything. Keeping the audience in mind, using or having non-distracting body language. That was another one. Maintaining good eye contact, or just not good, just maintaining eye contact. What for you as non-native speakers of English, notice the verbs maintaining, using, keeping. This is very helpful for non-native speakers to find the right word for this kind of thing. So it's not just what we're saying, it's also how we're saying it. Employing Yeah, okay, we'll add that too, yeah. Employing, let me just add this one, simple visuals. Employing, maybe utilizing, any of those are okay. For time frame, let's call this good time management. Okay. Fielding audience. I keep writing audience wrong. Sorry. Audience questions. Fielding means answering like an expert. Okay. And what else did I miss? Okay, this next part is about clarity. So we had clear delivery, but along with that, pronunciation, along with that, accurate language use. Whoops, when I'm writing quickly, sometimes I misspell words. That's my excuse. It's not that I'm dyslexic, although it probably is. I think that's it. So we've got 7 points here. Did I miss anything? We can. Oh yeah. Actually, Anton, you mentioned the venue. That might be good. The venue itself, the right, I don't know, environment for the presentation, and that includes everything that the presenter, everything that the presenter is not responsible for. Air conditioning, quality of the sound. We'll call that the venue. Venue means the place where it takes place.
And
okay.
maybe one more. Like, you should be prepared to answer the questions from the auditorium.
Well, absolutely. But I have that as point number 6. Fielding audience questions.
Okay.
What I meant. So fielding means answering like an expert, answering with expertise. Maybe I'll make that more clear. Answering with expertise. So I think we got it covered.
Yeah.
What are we going to...
Understood the fielding as passing the questions to the audience.
No.
Now I got
just the opposite.
Yeah, now I got the right. Okay.
Just the opposite. So what are we going to do with this? What's our purpose here? Our purpose is going to be this. Let's go here. Hold on. Oops. Okay. 2 Balkan Health Food Corp employees are attending a presentation training session with our outsourcer, Media Training Associates. It is the start of the day, and they're asked to give short presentations on some of the products. You are going to listen and make notes about their performances. Not today, because unfortunately I have back-to-back classes and I can't do this today. We don't have time. But tomorrow we'll have one final class where we'll do this. You're going to listen to both presentations. One of them in particular, I'm sure you'll find fault with. The other one will probably be a little bit better. So you have to make a few notes and be able to evaluate the performance of the presenters. So you then are going to be the trainers who will discuss the performance of the 2 employees based on your notes. And then you will have your chance to be a trainee. So it says, Student A, you're the trainee in the first presentation. Student B, you're the trainee in the second presentation. If we have 9 people, we'll go all the way up the alphabet. You will take turns to give each other feedback on your performances. Here's what I want to say here. You could use this as an opportunity to do your own presentation. You don't have to stick to our simulation. If you have a presentation at work or one that you might have to do in the future, you can do it and we can give you an evaluation as a class based on the points that we discussed. Okay? So we don't have to stick to this assignment if you've got a better idea. So just to finish up, remember we've got 8 points that we can discuss. The 8th is about the venue, so it probably won't come up. By keeping the audience in mind, using non-distracting body language, maintaining eye contact, employing simple visual aids, using good time management or good time management skills, properly fielding questions from the audience, in other words, answering with expertise, and having clear delivery, pronunciation, and accurate language use. Okay? So those are our criteria that we decided on today, basically. So think about that tonight. If you have a short presentation of maybe anywhere from 30 seconds to 2 minutes long, not much longer than that, because it'll be too much to handle, you can do it in class tomorrow. Otherwise, we will focus on evaluating and appraising the performance of our 2 Balkan Health Food Corp employees. You will listen to both presentations and use those criteria to give feedback to the employees. Any questions? Is it clear?
Totally.
Clear.
Yes,
Tomorrow,
yes.
are we going to be ready to rock and roll? Yeah?
Yes.
I'm not sure if I can attend or not.
Oh, you will be there.
Because
will be there.
tomorrow is Friday to me. That's why.
Tomorrow is Friday to me too.
No, it is different because of prayer for me. As a Muslim. That's why. I will see. I will see. I will try my best. I will try my best.
Well, what time is it for you?
Okay.
What's the time
okay,
of day for you?
It will be 1.
Yeah, I can't change the time. It's
No,
at
no,
1.
it's fine. It's fine. Don't change it. Don't change it. And I will see.
All right. Well, see what you can do. Okay.
Okay then. Thank
All
you very much. Okay.
Okay. Everyone else, if you've got a presentation, bring it tomorrow. Try to keep it to 2 minutes. It can be on anything, but we're gonna use those criteria to do an appraisal. Otherwise, we'll do the ones that are in the material, the examples that I mentioned. Okay. Bye for now, everyone. Have a good day. Hope to see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank
See
you.
you soon. Bye-bye.